There it is, the old dishwasher. There it is, our second tree project that we're going to de-branch today and haul off, and then there'll be some stump work later in the week. Okay, so plenty of things going on around the house. The question is, how the heck, if you're a busy person, maybe you work full-time, maybe you pick part-time, maybe you pick full-time and you got plenty of stuff going on, how the heck do you go on a 2-day trip picking only? Today on The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Welcome, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer here again on Wednesday. Crazy Picker Life, middle of the week edition. It's in the afternoon. I've got my orders packed for the most part and out. Although I just noticed I have an enlarger that's sold. That's in sort of in pieces, but is going to require some special packaging. I have to get that out today. Well, that means this video is going to have to be even a little more brief. I've got get my jaw saw out and go chomp off all those branches on that pine tree and drag all that stuff out of the way. We've got a tree crew coming in sometime in the next few weeks that's going to take out some old trees for us. So thanks for asking, how did the dishwasher install go? Well, when we moved into this house, it's an old house with low countertops. And so if you've ever tried to install something under low countertops, like old style, like pre-19 dishwasher countertops, they're too low. So originally I bought the only dishwasher I could find that was like 28 inches high. The problem is it was like a micro apartment dishwasher, and it did not hold up and it did not serve our family. So the next one I bought was a GE full size, and I had to spend some hours carving out a spot for it underneath the cabinets. We don't want to redo our kitchen. It's too much money to put in, too much time, and I'm just not good enough at it to you know, do it nice enough, cheap enough, whatever. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. But anyway, I carved out a hole in there and got that thing in there. Had to do a few other dipsy doodles to get the second version installed in there with the first version's install hardware stuff. That one died on us this week, and I got the like model, and it was more or less a replace job, but even so, you know, it's not that easy. It's not that easy for me, who doesn't do that kind of stuff all the time. So I was hoping for an hour, which is very ambitious, and it probably took me 3 hours. And I still got a few cleanup things, like, you know, a little drip under there where I probably need to disconnect something and connect it correctly and then connect it up again. It's pretty hard working under there when you're connecting the main hose, and I don't want to snap off a plastic piece under there. So anyway, trying to list around here, trying to keep above water, lots of stuff going on. So if anybody has a lot going on, it's me, and I don't like to toot my own horn, but I am a busy person. I pick full-time, I got 6 kids. My house is falling apart because it's 1928 and my kids are rough on it. I like to interact with my family. I like to relax. When the heck do I do that? I homeschool. Oh my gosh, I got a 2nd and 3rd grader that I have to spoon feed until they can flap out of the nest of reading and math and doing your homework by themselves. I've got a non-demanding wife who I definitely need to pay attention to because I like her. So, how the heck do I get out of the house and go picking for 2 days and leave my auctions running, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. Well, this video is a recap from the picking trip, and maybe it'll shed some light on it, some of the things that go through my head. Should I pick locally? Should I buy stuff online? Should I just keep going to the honey hole that I've discovered? Should I go back and forth 3 hours away to Denver and do some picking? All those things go through my mind, right? I've got cash flow issues just like any business and household. I've got space issues just like any business or any household. I've got too much stuff to list already. Some of it I can't list or won't list. So all these things go through my mind. You as a picker probably have some of these same things, right? So if you're new to picking, you know, there's so many variables to where you should pick. But if you're not finding enough stuff, or you want to explore new areas, or you want to try new ways of picking, sometimes you got to travel a little bit. Sometimes you might have to stay overnight a little bit. Sometimes you might have to go away for a week. How the heck do you do that? Well, you have to make sacrifices, but you do need to make sure that it's worth your time. We, in the early days, by early days, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, made a number of exploration trips into the unknown. We did not know if we would find anything. We could not count on that we would find anything. Most of the time we found some stuff, but going into that trip, I knew I probably would have to put some money out, and I may not recoup that money. Now during those days, and what you may have to do is you may have to travel cheaper. We used to stay in the van. We used to sleep overnight in the van. We would go to Wisconsin. My wife would sleep at her dad's house and stay there with some of the kids. Wheeler and me and one of the other boys would go picking all week, and except for like one day at the end of the week, we'd get a hotel so we could shower up. But we would stay 3, 4, 5 days in the van in Walmart parking lots overnight. When we would go on the treasure hunt, we would either camp once or twice we did. Oh, excuse me. Oh, banana peeler makes a heck of a BLT. I'm having a little BLT burp up. Woo! Tasty though. We do teach the kids to cook, and actually right now Kate and banana peeler and sometimes Wheeler, I hardly have to cook. Wonderful. Now they do get an allowance, of course. So anyway, when we went up on the treasure hunt on Highway 36 like we did this last weekend, we would stay in the van or we'd camp. When we go on the junk jaunt in Nebraska, like we're gonna go in a week next week, we would stay in the van. And then we further graduated to staying in what I'd call entry-level motels, hotels. And now, partially because of the size of our family, the logistics of our traveling, the finicky dealer who likes central air in his hotels and not wall units. I don't like, you know, smoky smelling rooms. I don't like doors that are bent open so you can see outside when you lock your hotel room. I like better parking. I like better cameras, security. I like good breakfasts. I like you know, all the amenities. We've graduated up to where we stay in nice hotels, 3-star or higher, and you know, that can get pricey. You have to build that in. And for me, that comfort of being on the road, I've built that in. So time and money, when you pick outside of your local area, time and money. When you pick inside your local area, you should be paying attention to time and money. But just like any business, and if you don't understand that a lot of businesses are either not conducted at a retail location, or part of their business plan is on the road, whether they go out and do shows or they're picking up or they're delivering items, you know, all those things. When you are traveling, start paying attention to all the people out there with trailers And I'm not talking about necessarily semis, but RVs pull trailers, trucks pull trailers. There's farming stuff going on. There's delivery stuff that's not UPS, it's not FedEx, it's not all that. There's quite a bit of traffic out there. People hauling cars, people hauling stuff. You know, there's a lot of business that requires people to stay over. When you start staying over in some of these hotels, you start meeting some of these people. So it is a way of running your business, and it's an investment in your business. Obviously, it costs time and money. Once you get better at picking, you're picking, you know, your whole gross number, the number you actually sell everything for. When it all sells, minus your traveling expenses, you hope to have some profit. You have to have some profit, otherwise it's more like a painful vacation. Now, in reality, and I'm not your tax person, this is not a tax or bookkeeping discussion, but in reality, if you like to travel, you can pay for a lot of your travel by picking. And if you get really good at picking, you can actually travel and make some money, but you do have to obviously do the back end, the listing, the shipping, the customer service. Some of that's got to be done. Now there's a whole discussion and different ways you can do that. Obviously, you could probably position yourself to travel and send or drop things off, and somebody else can handle all that other stuff for a cost, which eventually may be what I do. What Lon, my wife, and I do. And we'll take some of the younger kids, take some of the kids at a time, whatever. You know, all of them like to pick. Who doesn't like to pick? Who doesn't like to rummage through stuff? Well, I'll tell you, my wife doesn't. She doesn't like it that much. My younger kids, they like it in a limited capacity. My older kids, Wheeler's been going along forever. The younger boys, Banana Peeler, who's 14, Squealer, who's 12, they've been going along with us since they were like 6 and 7 from time to time, and they like certain parts of it, but obviously there's a grueling long day part of it that it was pretty rough for them, so it doesn't always work out. But you can bring your family along too, and most of them will remember those experiences. And if you have a bigger family, or even not, and you leave your wife at home or whatever, you got to split up the kids anyway. It's just a nice thing to do. Otherwise, somebody has to take on too much. Now, there have been times I've had to go picking with all the kids, and my wife goes shopping or whatever, and that is not ideal. Picking with 6 kids is not ideal. It can be okay for a while. Okay, dealer, where are you going with this? That's what I'd like to know. By the way, I'm going to address this, and maybe I have before. I say dealer, and that's my code name, whatever. I'm not actually trying to talk in the third person like some of these sports or rap or music people that kind of have lost their mind. Now, I'm not saying that I'm completely sane. I'm not saying that. But it's just the way I do this, okay? So if it drives you crazy like some of the other things that I do in my videos, I apologize, but that's how I get across the story. Dealer, what are you thinking? I have those little discussions, right? Just when I think I'm all with it, I do find that I'm not. So it's not like I'm trying to act like I'm super with it here. Uh-oh, interruption. Now you become part of the show. Yeah, I'm doing a video. We're going to go do that tree work in a minute.
That's right. I was just watching videos about trees. I was going to say, I didn't even know, but apparently in some places in the world, there's palm trees that grow to be 200 or 300 feet tall.
With coconuts?
Just in like an open field or whatever.
Yeah.
It just looks crazy.
Where is that?
I forget. Some Panama or something.
Oh, Panama.
I don't know. Somewhere like that.
I just noticed I have this to pack up. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's fun.
So we're going to have to make quick work of that tree.
Yep.
All right, let me film this. For those of you that don't like when I spin the camera around, how's that? A hard cut. Problem with spinning the camera around. The spinning the camera around is easy. I'm sorry I make people dizzy. The hard cut, or going back and cutting all that stuff out of there, that takes time. I don't have an editor. I don't trust my videos to my kids to edit, not because I don't like them. I just don't think that they'll get out in the same form if they're all chopped up. So I don't know what to do about that. I could spin the camera around really slow between that. Maybe that would be okay. It's one of those things. It's like when I call myself dealer. That drives me nuts, and it drives some other people nuts. When I spin the camera around, everybody's like puking on the popcorn. Sorry about that. Can't please everybody. I would if I could. I would if I could. I got 6 kids. I would if I could. I've got a nice wife. I would if I could. What the heck? Okay, let's get down to it. Let's get inside the mind of whoop 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 dealer. All right, so here's what I'm thinking about with the trip. I'm just gonna start throwing some stuff up here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Maybe I should have had it up here. We spent 850 bucks. I looked it up. We went 428 miles, which is low for us. I chose to take the short route on the trip this year. We have put as many as 800 miles on this particular trip some years. So that is relatively low and consolidated. I get 15 miles per gallon. So that's like 7 gallons per 100. That's 28 gallons, 29, 30 gallons of gas. Hard costs right there. $2.50 a gallon. I'm making my math kind of hard here. 60, 75 bucks of gas. Let's put that up there, right? 75 bucks for gas. Hotel, sleep in is overpriced here. It's 110 bucks total. It is a top-notch sleep in. You will get some sleep there. The breakfast is 5 out of 10, Norton, Kansas. The guy who does the desk has been there for 5 years. He likes us, we like him. Great room for 110 bucks. It's a little expensive for around here. The problem is there's cheaper rooms, but they are run by nice people, but they are not the kind of rooms that I like to stay in. Food you're gonna eat anyway, but I think we spent 40 at Pizza Hut. Had a couple beers. I think we spent $10 on a 6-pack. I think we spent, let's see, we had another meal in there. Where did we go? We went to a nice Mexican restaurant across from Storrs Auction House in Smith Center. I can't think of the name of it, but it's very tasty. I think that was less than 50 bucks, but I think that was 50 bucks. Brought some snacks along. I'm not going to include that in there. Probably bought a Rockstar somewhere, $2. I don't think there was anything else. We brought some snacks. Maybe it'll come to me, but let's do that. All right, 850, 950, 960, 1,000, 1,075, 1,085, 1135, 1137. Oof, under pressure, right? Okay, so $1,137. I can't think of anything else. Obviously, there's wear and tear on the vehicle. That's not included in the gas price. Again, this is not an accounting or a tax video. I get to deduct that mileage at a certain 50, 60, 70 cents per mile, whatever it is. So that pretty much takes care of it. All these other expenses are business expenses one way or another. Let's see, 1137. Okay, time-wise, we're gone 2 full days. Now, Friday morning before we left, I packed some orders at 5 a.m. for, I did an hour of work before we left. Saturday, when we got back, I filmed the video. I unpacked everything. I checked questions. I got another, 3-4 hours of work in there. And then I backpedaled afterwards a little bit because we were behind on orders. I front pedaled a little bit on the other end of that, so that you have to squish things a little bit to get out of town. So 2 days, I ask myself, do I need a break? Because this ain't going to be a luxury break. It's not going to be a calm day, so it's really not a break. Do I need a break? But some of the things that I ask myself is, how many dollars per day, if I have inventory sitting at home, how many dollars per day am I not listing if I got too much? If you got too much inventory all your life, you need to figure out something. Otherwise, you're always behind. But we definitely have too much right now. I'm trying to work on that. Dollars per day of listing. You know, we didn't shut down the auctions, but on our longer trips, dollars per day selling. Now you don't lose the items. You still have those in your inventory, so you're going to there's a flip around quick. Sorry about that. There should be a warning, burp, burp, burp. You know, like a backup warning here. I'm about to flip the camera around. Quick, hide your eyes. I'm not trying to make fun of it, by the way. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to change. I can't change. It's like putting on your shoes one at a time. I can't put them on two at a time. Okay. So, dollars per day selling, it's cash flow. So if you go on a 2-week vacation and you're used to selling $800 a day, that cash flow is not there. It doesn't matter if you're depleting your inventory or not. You're not going to make those sales up the day you come back. You're going to be $800 a day times 14 days is $8,000, $3,000. It's like $11,000, $12,000 of cash flow. You have to take a vacation, but it's something to consider, right? If you work a full-time job or a part-time job, you might have vacation, so you can get paid for your job and use your vacation to go picking. That's one way to do it. My wife, when Lon comes along, we get vacation pay, so we don't lose all of our pay. It's just something that we do. Okay, I think that's it for numbers. It's really not that complicated. There's some other factors to consider. You know, space, vehicle you take, got to have cash along to buy something. I ran into some people on the trip that apparently ran into those speakers that I bought for 30 bucks. And they saw them and they only had $100 in their pocket, so they didn't ask about them. But have enough cash along. I've run out of cash. I know something else I got to talk about. So when we first started to go out on these trips, we spent less and got more. And so if your picking gets better, if your experience gets better, if you pay attention and learn where to go and what to buy and who to talk to, you hope it gets better. It got better for us. We used to spend $600 and we might triple our money on that for 2 days, but you're talking $1,200 to $1,800 profit, let's say, tripling your money. $1,200 would really be the net from tripling your money without expenses being taken out. I mean, it's all how people say things, right? So if you triple 600, that's $1,800 minus out the 600 you spent. You got 1,200 bucks minus expenses and fees and da. It also was a lot more small items. There was a lot more items. So the listing, you really had a list. That may happen to you at the start. You may say, oh my gosh, are these trips worth it? Well, now we spend $1,137 and I think I'm going to make triple my money profit. So I would like to net out of this thing. I would like to net $3,000. Now this could be a muddy discussion, because when you look at this whole thing in the greater accounting scheme of things, what do I really mean? I don't even know what I really mean, because I'm able to deduct a bunch of these expenses. I'm able to get out of the office. That's worth something to me. You know, I can deduct all these, the hotel and all these things. So it's not like I'm going to have $3,000 in my hand, but I might have $2,500. I don't know. It's going to take time to process and sell all this stuff. But the point is, you're going to have to put some sort of multiplier. I think if you're out there on a trip like this and you are putting yourself in front of products for 6 to 8 hours a day, we used to get up, and we still did this time, as early as we could. It was light and people were selling stuff. 8 a.m. we're out there, and we were out there from 8 a.m. on Friday till about 6. So that's a 10-hour day. And we were out there from about 8:30 a.m. to 6. It's another 10-hour day. We used to go longer. We used to press it. We were like, we got to make this work. But I was back in the day where I had to make it work, or I'm going back to work for somebody. I've since settled down a little bit. But here's the number I use. If you're diligent, I think if you're spending your money on good stuff, at least you want to aim at this. I would say times 3 should be your selling price. So here you're at $3,400. The stuff, now this is actually inflated a little bit because I used to say 3 times that. So that really should be, as a new person, you should limit your expenses. And as a new person, or even a medium experienced person, you should be looking to triple that. So you sell all your stuff for $2,550. I'm going to work off $3,400, right? If you sell your stuff for triple what you paid for it, you take out the original $2,450, let's say. I'm going to work with mine, okay? $3,400. If I minus out my expenses, that leaves me with about $2,260. Let's just call it $2,200. $2,200 would be my net after the adventure. Now I still have $2,200. I still got to take business fees out of there. So eBay, PayPal, packing supplies, computers, lights, paying Wheeler, paying Banana Peeler, all that. So the $2,200 still gets whittled down. Let's say, I don't know, what am I going to get out of there? There weren't that many cameras in there. I don't know, 30%, 40% gone. So let's say I'm getting $1,400. So I should make $1,400 if I can sell everything for triple what I paid plus my expenses. So I can take that and divide that by 2 days, and I can see how it went. Now it's 2 days out of the office. How many dealer days does it take to process and ship and deal with all this stuff? I don't know. I work every day. I don't know. But you could further analyze some of that, and then you would see, are my trips worth it? Now you can analyze things to death, and I've been given the gift in my head of stuff just churning, and out pops the ticker tape at the end of the day, and somehow it all starts to make sense to me. I don't sit there and just write stuff down all day long and do MBA level analysis projects or anything like that. But you should do something like this if you're totally in the dark, especially if you don't feel like you're making money. And then what you have to do is you start to have to pick it apart. Am I spending too much on this trip? When I get out there, am I picking enough, or am I sightseeing? Am I talking to people too long? Am I driving too far? Am I, not going to the right places? In our particular treasure hunt, there are places to go, and there are places that are time wasters. And I could talk about that, but I'm not going to right now because I got to get this damn tree done. But these are the things that you pick up experientially too. And I don't know if there's more to talk about. I could talk about this all day because I do actually like an analysis. That's how I get better. That's how we do better. That's how I get to work less. Get experience. I get to work less. Work smart, not harder. And then on the days you feel like working harder, you can work harder and dumber. And drink a beer. I do that too. Work harder and dumber and drink a beer. So that's the breakdown of the trip for now. If you have questions about what I've showed, if I've missed something, you can put that in the comments below. If I just totally missed something, which is possible, I don't mind. I don't mind that. Here's another thing that can happen. You can be looking for your own personal items too much on a trip like this, and you end up spending your profit at the donut store, and you end up spending your time. So if you are dual purposed when you're out there picking for business, you have to be careful about that, because that can sabotage you. So I've seen that happen to some people. They spend all the profits, they eat all the profits. So you got to watch that. I hardly ever buy anything I hang on to too long. Even my signs, most of them pass through. If they're really worth something, I enjoy them for a while and then they're gone. Okay. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow's show, I don't know, I think we're going to talk about the wind up of the momentum contest. I've talked about having a talk about mentors. I've got another talk I'm going to do about luck. How do you get luck in your business? What do people think about luck? Am I lucky? Is dealer just lucky? Did he luck upon all this stuff? Am I lucky because I have a niche to work in? Am I lucky because I have Wheeler working on cameras and he's really good at it? Am I lucky? Can you be lucky too? Are you lucky? You know, all that. And let's see what else. Whew. Just a lot going on. Always a lot going on. Got to keep the wheel turning. If you don't got your life in order, get your life in order. Then you're gonna luck out a little bit. Maybe you're gonna be luckier. I kind of miss the comments from this one guy who used to comment for a while, and then I axed him because he was abusive to me. He used to say, I'm gonna keep watching this train wreck, dealer. You're the conductor and your train's going off the damn cliff. I just love watching your train wreck. I'm like, choo choo, here we go again. Woo woo. It's probably still watching. I feel bad that I had to ax a few commenters. I really do. I feel bad about that. It's like when the people threw that Craigston stuff away. I'm like, are you idiots? I feel bad about that. If somebody acts like an idiot, I actually feel bad for them. What is wrong with me? That's what my wife would say. What is wrong with you? Just ditch it. Just cut it. Just, you know, deal with it, dealer. Oh, it's funny, the backstories. Breathe in, breathe out. Ran 2 miles today, felt good. Oh, shoot. My exercise yesterday was replacing the dishwasher. Not quite the same as running. Feels good. Pick well list often. Thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate the comments. Dealer I here.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.